So to make a medicinal syrup, you need an herbal infusion or decoction, your honey or sweetener of choice, a double boiler, a wooden spoon, and an amber glass bottle. So you turn the heat on to about medium to low because you want the water in the boiler to heat up and start to boil, but you don't want anything in the top part of the double boiler to actually boil. We might want to see it bubble up along the sides, but we don't want to see this end up boiling. So we have our elderflower infusion from before, and we just put it in the top of the double boiler. And then we use equal parts honey or sweetener to the infusion. And generally, I like to make only a small amount at a time because of the sugar in this. Unless you freeze it, it can mold in the refrigerator after a couple weeks. Whereas the tincture, now that the herbs have been extracted into the alcohol, that tincture can be good for 6, 10 years, depending on how well you store it. So the syrup is really simple. You just wait for the honey or the sweetener to dissolve, and then you have your medicinal syrup. So it's very similar and pretty much exact to making a simple syrup if you've ever made a simple syrup for a cocktail or anything. All that is water and sugar is simple syrup. So you're basically just doing the same thing, but instead you're making a medicinal simple syrup. And for children and for picky people, this is really the best way to take your medicine because it tastes sweet. And your syrup absolutely has to be refrigerated after you make it. A fun thing that you can do is you can make these into ice cubes, and then you can store your simple syrup that way. So then as you need it, you can just thaw it out, and then you have your syrup. If you just wanted to make a medicinal honey, you could just skip the water portion of this and just melt honey in a double boiler. And you can either infuse the herbs directly into the honey on top of the double boiler, or you can just have honey out at room temperature, put herbs in that, and let that extract the herbs for about 2 weeks, and then you can put the honey herb mixture on the stove, heat it up, and then strain the herbs out that way. So if you didn't want a syrup and you just wanted a medicinal honey that you could add to your tea or whatever, you can do that too. Okay, so we'll turn this off. So for this product, we don't have to strain it at all because we've already made the infusion and strained that. But one thing you do want to be aware of is water from the bottom of the double boiler, because we don't want any excess water to get into our mix. And it's very important when we work with the oils because we don't want water getting into the oil because it could mold the product. So now we just let this cool, and then we'll put the lid on once it's cool, and just like before, we always label our product and we date it, because once this goes in the refrigerator, we really want to use it within 2 to 3 weeks. And if it's in there longer, you could always just smell it to make sure it doesn't smell like it's gone rancid. And if it has gone rancid, then you can feed it to your plants because they like the sugar too.